When we look at the family in the church in general today, one of the things that we look at is the very fact that the family is changing and what it looks like in the church. We go all the way from intact families to divorced couples to remarried couples to blended families. And if I were to look at the one issue or the one situation that seems to be a major part of what's going on in these families, I would have to say it would be the tremendous increase in blended families. Statistics show that 2/3 of all in families that are going to be in our society in 10 to 20 years are going to be either remarried families or blended families. And blended families in many of our churches today make up a majority of the families that are in our church. And this is really changing the face of the church. And the church has to ask the question, what can we do about this? Because traditionally we have emphasized, and rightly so, that God's will for every family is to be an intact nuclear family and to bring up children in that situation. But the reality today is that well over half of all families in the United States today at this point in time are divorced and remarried and in a blended family situation. And the reality is that these people are in the church and they are part of our church families. And the reality is that if we don't minister to them, they will leave our church and they will go somewhere else where someone will minister to them and someone will try to take care of the needs that they have. And one of the things that we have to look at and understand in this situation is that the needs of a blended family are significantly different than the needs that are in an intact nuclear family. In fact, many of the things that we talk about when we talk about parenting, when we talk about the couple relationship, many of the things that we look at in a blended family are turned upside down from what they would look like in the intact nuclear family. Probably one of the best examples that I have is in disciplining children in the blended family. And the reality is that the step-parent is not the parent of that child, nor can they be the parent of that child. They will always be the step-parent of that child. And because of that, it makes the disciplining of that child more difficult, if not impossible. And so when we're dealing with blended families, we talk about the fact that the step-parent should wait at least 2 years before they get into a serious disciplining situation with those children. They do have to monitor. They do have to some degree, do discipline with their stepchildren, but it's typically the parent, the biological parent, and or biological parents that are involved with the child that make this happen, and the step-parent becomes just a facilitator. We talk about the fact in intact families that a parent should not try to be the friend of their children, they should be the parent of their children. And parents don't do the things to people that, or to friends. People don't do things to friends that parents do to other people. So I don't discipline my friends. We go along together, we do things that are fun together, but a friend can opt out at any time. But in a family, a friend can't opt out, and that makes for difficulties. So, but in a step-family situation, we tell parents that's where you start, and it may be the best thing that you have to hope for, that you will become friends with that step-parent. You might move from friendship to respect, and hopefully you will. And you might move from respect to caring, and you might move from respect to a good, loving relationship with that child. But that's not what you can expect in that relationship. And the older the child, the less likely that is to occur when the divorce has occurred and when the remarriage occurs. So step-families and blended families don't operate the same way. You have children that are in the home and then out of the home and then back in the home and then out of the home again. You have another person who has a say over everything that happens to that child. And so one of the things I think that needs to happen in the church is, as they look at blended families in the church as becoming perhaps a majority in that church, is to not emphasize standards that are not possible for those blended families to occur, and to provide for them special help in the difficulties that they experience. Structure is so important in the family, and the more complicated that structure, the more difficulties there are going to be in the church with ministering to that family.